Welcome to the Snarky in the Suburbs podcast. I'm so glad you're with me today. We have fun stuff to talk about. Well, some of it's not fun. It's people's problems, which are never fun, but we will give our advice nevertheless. Dear Snarky letters about a dirty kitchen. You're like, come on. No. A dirty kitchen that has led to a friendship break, if you can believe that, and some embarrassment. Then in the Peeve, y'all, it's Vow Renewals. I can't stand it. I would never go to a vow renewal. I've drawn the line. That's one of the big things about getting old. You can just say, nope, not going to do it. I'm playing the grouchy card. And I did. In the observation department, y'all, it's about things I notice when I'm walking my dog. Curious things. And I want to know what you think about it. And then in the confession, oh my God. From the Snarky Confessional, it's about tap dancing. Literally and figuratively. Perhaps. Okay, let's get to the letter first. And I have nothing to read because this was a really long letter. So I'm going to just condense what the letter was. Okay, so this woman writes me. Oh, there's going to be a hum. It's still hot as bejesus out there. And I got my AC on. So for those of you bothered by the hum, please exit the podcast now. Thank you. Okay, so this woman writes me, and she's very, very upset, very emotional in her letter. Paragraphs, people, paragraphs. So apparently she is a school teacher. She has been a school teacher for a number of years. She is now single, empty nester, last kid just went to college, and she usually hosts like a back to school celebration at her house and invites all the teachers from the elementary school she teaches at, teacher, staff, whatever, open house, come and go, that kind of thing. She's been doing this, she said, for about 3 or 4 years. Well, here's what happened. School year progresses. What are we? Into September. And, she said they celebrate teachers' birthdays in the break room or staff's birthdays or this or that. Or, Friday they have some kind of potluck thing. Well, she could never find the sign-up sheet. They keep just a sign-up sheet in the room, not on your phone. You just go sign up for what you want to bring. And people you know how it is. You go to your friend, Teresa, you've got to bring that dip. It's amazing. So she couldn't find the sign-up sheet, and no one was asking her to bring anything, so she was confused. And she just let it go. She would bring stuff anyway. She knew it was on a Friday. I'm bringing it. Oh, it's Susie Q's birthday. I'm bringing stuff. And she noticed it was not being consumed. And, her feelings were a little hurt by that, because you notice when you bring something if people aren't eating it. And she's like, how odd, how very, very odd. So she asked a woman that's they have some, I think it's the school secretaries in charge of all this stuff, coordinates, that kind of thing. And so she went up to the school secretary and she's like, is something going on? She goes, I am not, no one's asking me to bring anything. I can't ever find the sign-up sheet. When I come in, it used to be hung up, in the break room for all of us to sign. It's not there anymore. She's like, what's going on? She goes, I for the past couple of years, I've hosted an event at my house. I really like bringing stuff. She goes, it's important to me to contribute. School secretary looks at her. She said it was an older woman, been a school secretary for a number of years, looks at her and says, do you really want to know why you're not being asked to bring anything? And she's like, yes, I really want to know. So the school secretary says, this is going to hurt your feelings, but when we went to the back to school open house at your house, celebrate school, being back in, teachers, etc. She goes, your kitchen was so filthy. No one wants to eat anything you make based on how filthy your kitchen was. She is so upset. She said she started crying, tears in her eyes. She didn't, bawl or anything, but she was emotional. She's like, what do you mean? And the school secretary, maintaining eye contact, never losing the eye contact of, your kitchen's dirty. She's really good. She goes, your kitchen was filthy and people feel uncomfortable eating your food in a kitchen that's that dirty. And then the woman goes, the teacher, that's being told, you got a dirty kitchen. She's like, well, I've done this for a couple years. People have been to my house before. And the school secretary goes, your kitchen has never been that dirty before. She said, you know what? She goes, that was the nail in your hostess coffin. Oh my God, I'm itching. So much anxiety over this. So she's super upset. So she goes talk to the to the teacher that is her closest friend at the school. So she's like, that old bat, that old secretary, she's got it out for everybody. She is not very helpful, and she's a control freak. So she's furious. So she runs, scurries, if you will, to find her friend after school. And she's like, you won't believe what the school secretary just said to me. And her friend's like, what did she say? She goes, well, I asked her why I can't find a sign-up sheet in the break room anymore. Why no one's asking me to bring anything. And she told me it's because when I had my back-to-school open house shindig, because my kitchen was so, quote, filthy that now nobody wants to eat my food. Her friend, she says, Steina starts getting red in the face. And she's like, oh. That's all she said is, oh. And then the woman with the dirty kitchen goes, did that really happen? She goes, is that what's happening? And asked point blank, her friend has to go, yeah, the state of your kitchen really alarmed a lot of us. Like, once we saw that, we couldn't unsee the food you were making. And then she said, and to be honest, we found like pet hair and stuff like in your food. She goes, on the frosting of your brownies, she goes, we just don't want to eat it, And so he goes, what do you think? The lady with the dirty kitchen goes, do you think I'm making people get sick? She goes, I can't say that you've made anybody get sick, but she goes, you could. She is furious. She storms off, leaves, gets in her car, so she goes home and has a good cry. And she goes, I can't believe this is happening. Oh, and come to find out where there wasn't a sign-up sheet in the teacher's lounge anymore was because they did move it online and they did not send it to her to sign up because they did not want her bringing any of the food. So she says she feels betrayed. She's so upset. She can't believe people are saying stuff about that. She goes, her kitchen's not that bad. She did say at the open house that she had that, her kitchen was like had dishes in the sink and was kind of like a mess because she had been cooking before people got there. So she's like, oh my god. And she does say that she has 2 cats and a dog, and she goes, and all 3 like shed a lot, but she tries to stay on top of it. So she goes, what should I do? Like, are these my friends? Why are they doing this to me? She feels so hurt and upset. And Dear Snarky, what should I do? And then my answer to her is, girl, how dirty was your kitchen that people are like, no, thank you. I don't want to eat anything that comes out of this kitchen. Yikes. So I told her, you have to really take a hard look with fresh eyes, your eyes, and just like, peekaboo, you've never seen your kitchen before. And like, that's how dirty is your kitchen. And, so I told her, that's what you have to do. You have to look at your kitchen, really assess how dirty it is. If you want to invite a neighbor over, go, look, what do you think about the state of my kitchen? Be honest. And see what they say. But if that many people not only don't want to eat your food, but want to make sure that you're not bringing food into the environment where they're going to be eating, you got a problem. I mean, it had to be bad. I don't think they're being mean because no one wants to tell somebody, especially the woman you said was a good friend, your kitchen's disgusting and none of us want to eat. So unfortunately, the problem's with you. The problem is with you. And you can't get your feelings hurt if you ask someone like the school secretary, what is going on? And then you ask a friend and the friend confirms that. You wanted to know. And it's good you know. Can you be upset that your good friend at the school didn't say, hey, your kitchen's in bad shape. Can I help you clean the kitchen? Here's the name of a cleaning service that I use or friends use. I mean, maybe she could have done that, but I think that you would be just as upset if she had done that. So you really got to assess your kitchen. That's bad. And when people come to your home, two places that need to be clean, the guest bathroom they're going to be using. And I know the kitchen can't be clean. You can have dirty dishes in the kitchen, but the floors have to be swept. You have to get like some clean countertop space. Like you're entertaining. I can understand like a mixing bowl or some stuff in the sink, but if you had stuff everywhere, I mean, I'm wondering, and I hate to say this, but did they see mouse droppings? I mean, I don't know. I mean, or had your animals defecated in the house and you hadn't picked it up? Did your house smell bad? You need to be brutally honest with yourself about the condition of your home. I'm thinking that once your last child went to college, you're an empty nester, maybe you're not cleaning up as much as you used to. I don't know, but it's your problem. And I wouldn't be mad at your teacher friends. The school secretary does sound like a lot, but get it fixed. Get it fixed, and clean, and get some help if you have to. It's like when you become nose blind to your house, like, when you go on vacation and then you come back home, you're like, what's that smell? You're nose blind to it. I think your nose, and I think you're all five senses blind to the state of your home. And I would start with getting some help. Have someone come in and do a deep clean. This is what it should look like. And then have that as your benchmark, that this is what your house should look like. But I'm just thinking it had to be bad. And I hate to say this, but you need to get some help. And I'd start with a service. And like I said, do the deep clean and move on from there. But don't be mad at your friend. You asked her, she told you, and I almost think she did a kindness by telling you. What good would have been lying? And how to handle it with the teachers. You might want to just tell everybody at a teacher meeting, I have an announcement to make. Y'all, I know when the last time you were at my house, it was like really dirty. Just go, I'm going to blame it on empty nester, not really, being on top of stuff like that. But I have a cleaning service. I mean, maybe tell people. I don't know. Read the comments because they'll have really good advice. But I'm going to call this the case of the dirty kitchen. And it's you. The phone call is coming from inside the home. It is you. Clean your kitchen. Get some help. And also I'm going to ask, are you depressed? Are there reasons why maybe you're not cleaning? There could be a lot of things going into when your house goes from looking good to not so good. Ask yourself those questions. Having the last kid leave for college can trigger like depression. So maybe you need to explore that. But like I said, get a service to do a deep clean so you have a benchmark. And then maybe ask yourself, do I need to talk to somebody? And ask your friend. It sounds like, you said she's your friend for many years. Ask her. But y'all, that's my advice. And I'm going to stand by my statement that your kitchen had to be really, really bad for people to not want to go to your home and consume food or want you to bring anything into the school. That's a problem. You need to get some help. Okay. Yeah, that letter took it out of me. It took it out of me. It's sad. I mean, it's embarrassing, but you just got to get over it. Oh, and one of the letters she goes, I feel like I should change schools. You don't need to change schools. Just fix the problem. Okay? Just get, find out why it's that way and get help with a cleaning service and maybe talk to someone. But yikes. Okay, now moving on to my peeve. Okay, y'all, my peeve, it's vow renewals. I am so sick of it. Recently, I got invited to a vow renewal, and I'm not going. I started boycotting them a while ago. And let me just tell you why. No one wants to go to your vow renewal. If you want to have a big, blowout or something, throw yourself an anniversary party and wear like a white dress. And I know I've talked about this before. And if you want to listen to a podcast where someone doesn't repeat themselves, you're in the wrong place because I'll be repeating myself. But I'm triggered because I just recently got an invitation to a vow renewal for a couple that has been married 10 years. Whoop-de-doo. 10 years. I mean, okay. Now, I get a vow renewal if there's been some health crisis in this. I don't know. Like we thought she was going to die. She made it or he made it. And we just want to celebrate our love. I mean, I get all that. So I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, your basic bitch vow renewal. And does any guy want a vow renewal? I don't think any husband, even like in a same-sex marriage, like it's not a thing. I'm sure they're like, no, thank you. If I told my husband I wanted a vow renewal, y'all, he'd laugh so hard. He would laugh so hard and be like, why do you want to waste money on that? And I wouldn't, because I'm a thrifty gal. So anyways, this couple's been married 10 years, and they're having a vow renewal. And then I'm just like, come on. And they have kids, and I guess, I don't know. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that they want to she wants to wear like a white dress again. Oh my God, I have a rant. I'm going to save it. I'm making myself a note to come back to it because I don't want to go off on a tangent because it's going to be a tangent. So I'm guessing that she wants to wear like a white dress, buy a beautiful dress, have some, have people over, have a bunch of pictures taken of, husband, wife, the kids, a whole, photo spectacular. And, so they're going to have a vow renewal. Just have a party. throw yourself an anniversary party. What's 10 years? It's something dumb like paper, I think. I don't think it's something like, the gift or whatever. Just do that. I do not understand vow renewals. Plus, people, use your brains. The vow renewal to divorce pipeline is real. It is very, very real. We need to look no further than any housewives on a housewife show that is at a vow renewal. Pretty much divorce. And when I go to these, I feel like they're trying to convince themselves that like they're still in love, they still have it, or maybe they thought they were going to get divorced but decided not to, so they're going to celebrate their love with a vow renewal. Take a vacation, okay? That is money much better spent. I don't understand it. I mean, who did a vow renewal back in our parents' day? No one. It's creepy to me. It's creepy. It gives off vibes of, I want to be a bride again. But I'm stuck with this guy, so I guess we'll celebrate that. Yes, I know that's harsh. That's so harsh, but yeah, I don't like it. Who cares if I don't like it? I just don't have to go. People have free will. Do all the vow renewals you want. But to me, and then, y'all, oh, this is going to sound so bad, but when has this stopped me? Never. I am embarrassed when they're saying the vows to each other again. Why? I don't know why, but I just find it's like secondhand embarrassment, like just cringe. Just cringe. If I had to say my vows to my husband again, it would be laughable because our marriage has surpassed like vows. You know what I mean? Or we've had experienced so much together. Good times, bad times, deaths, all that kind of stuff. That the vows, it's like, okay, we're not beginners in the marriage thing. We got this. Our vows need to be elevated. I don't know. It's the whole thing's like cringy. And then it just like, and then if they like have the wedding cake, which I'm all for, because as you know, I'm a cake girly. But like try to like recreate a wedding. I don't know. It's just me, but it's a peeve. I don't like it. In 10 years, you're still a beginner, okay? You're a beginner. It bugs me. And you know what? It probably says more about me than the people having vow renewals. Maybe I just have a problem with love. I don't, okay? I use heart emojis all the time. Okay, now the thing I wanted to go off on this rant. Oh my God. You're not going to believe this. Okay. Y'all, this is why people should join sororities. Because you can hate the people in your sorority for years. Okay, so I have a lot of friends still in my sorority, but there's a couple of people I like really hated for good reasons and still hate. And it's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy that. Okay, so anywho, this woman, every single GD year on her anniversary, okay, every single GD year since Facebook came out, let's put it that way, on her anniversary, she now does it like on Facebook and Instagram. She posts a picture of her in her wedding dress with the, still fits. Okay, crazy. Like every single year. Could I do that? No, because it wouldn't still fit. But another thing, my wedding dress is in like one of those coffins, the wedding dress coffins where it's all stuffed up so it keeps and it's like wrapped and all that, like, historical paper and, so she's just got to have her wedding dress hanging on a hanger in her closet. It can't be in a wedding dress coffin because once you take it out, you'd have to go to the dry cleaners and have it recoffined, okay? So it's just hanging there in her closet. She's walking in to grab a blouse and there's the wedding dress, to put it on every year and take pictures. It still fits. Who does that? This woman. You know what? And I'm not mad about it because it brings me such glee. When I see that every year, I'm like, yes, she did it again, and I can hate her all over again. I like it. I like to revisit the hate I had for her when I was 20, now at 64. I mean, come on. And what I can't imagine is she has children. If I did that, my daughter would just roast my ass so hard. I couldn't recover from the roasting. She'd be like, Mom, stop. I mean, it would be like a solid roast that I wouldn't recover from. I mean, because that's what daughters do. They know how to push all your buttons and they will call out your foolishness. They don't have any patience for your foolishness. So, yeah, I can't believe it. trying on the wedding dress. And it's not even a cute wedding dress, because I think she got married in the early 90s. And as we've discussed on a previous podcast, the 90s wedding dresses were horrible. But she also doesn't just say still fits. She does the twirl so you can see that it's not being held together. I mean, you're not the back closes. Because if I was doing it, there's no way I could zipper that. But she, dancing, if you're watching, I'm dancing. It's quite frightening. No. But I'm extending a thank you to her for doing that every year to bring me the pleasure of once again hating her. So there's that. Hating's bad, I know, but you know what I mean by hating, okay? It's delicious hating, okay? It's yummy, yummy, delicious hating, and I enjoy doing it for a woman for 30-something years no, because Facebook hadn't been around that long. Well, from the 2000s, whenever Facebook came out, been posting that stuff. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the pleasure of hating you all over again. All right. That was that little sidebar that snuck in that I didn't think I was going to talk about, but there we go. Okay. I'm closing the chapter on vow renewals. Okay, now I'm going to talk about my observation. Y'all, this is we need to really think about this. Okay, so as you know, I walk my dog, Tally. She's so adorable all the time because, pet owner, walk your dog. So I have different neighborhood routes I take because I read that if you take your dog on the same route, it's bad. They need new scents. You need to vary it up. People, I vary it up. I have noticed, and we had a garage sale in our neighborhood this past weekend. I've noticed, and I noticed this when there was a garage sale in May, that the people that always have their curtains closed, I mean, you cannot see into their house 24/7, their curtains are closed, okay? It's like a fort. Every single curtain in that house is closed. I couldn't live that way. I only have curtains on windows where you sleep or you might be in a state of undress. And other than that, I don't have curtains. I like to let that sun shine in, people. So anywho, the curtains are closed. I mean, you can't see anything in. But there are the people that are having the garage sales. So you can't see into their home, but they're always having garage sales. Does that seem suspicious? Does that seem like it's a Dateline episode? I mean, is that a lair of a serial killer? What are they hiding? But then what are they selling? What do they want to get rid of? So, of course, these homes, I'm like, oh my God, I will stop and peruse their stuff to see if there's any red flags. Looking, got the dog on the leash, just kind of, looking around, looking at stuff, looking at books. What are they reading? What are they selling? It's all horrible stuff. And seeing if I can get any clues. But why? I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I talked about the vow renewal, the divorce pipeline. I'm telling you right now that there's a never having a window open and always having every window covered, curtains, can't see in, okay? To garage sale pipeline to serial killer. I'm suspicious. I am very, very suspicious. Because who wants to live like that with your curtains drawn all the time? It sounds absolutely horrible. You need the sunshine in. My mom said, don't clean your house unless you're going to let the sunshine in because the sun's a disinfectant. And then you can't have your Christmas tree in the window. I mean, it's strange. It is strange. I wonder if someone has written a PhD dissertation on this. Or National Treasure, even though he's from Canada, Keith Morrison with Dateline, they need to look into this. Most definitely. Is this a clue that bad things are happening? Why would you have everything buttoned up like that? I don't understand it. I don't like it. I think I'm onto something. I seriously do. Okay, that's my observation. Okay, now, y'all, this is my confession from the Snarky Confessional. A while back, when I told the confession how I was kicked out of choir in high school because I'm tone deaf. I mean, I know it, I'm tone deaf, yet I love to sing. I love to sing loudly. I love to express myself. I sing all the time. I tell my husband, if I quit singing, there's a problem. Because if I sing, that means I'm happy, right? I maybe know 3 words to a song, and then I'll make up the lyrics. I mean, it's a mess. It's a mess, but it brings me joy. So, kicked out of choir. Called my mom crying at the high school, couldn't believe it. Was told I was tone deaf, couldn't sing. Well, there's a part 2. There is a part 2. I don't even think my daughter knows this. And my daughter is a dancer, a beautiful dancer. I was kicked out of a tap dancing class. When I was in high school, people, I wanted to learn to tap dance. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just want to learn to tap dance. So, my mom, I go, I want to learn to tap dance. And this is when tap dance classes are. I go, I want to take these tap classes. But I couldn't drive yet. I think I was 14. So my mom would, drive me to a tap class. We bought really cute tap shoes, like Mary Jane's with the heel and little taps on them. And I would tap around the house until my dad would go, don't tap on the hardwood floor, Sherry. So then I'd go in the basement and tap. Loved it. Loved making the clickety-clack sounds. Loved it. Took tap for a month. That's 4 tap lessons. I believe I had like a tap lesson every Wednesday from like 6 to 7 or something. It had to be after my extracurricular activities. Felt good about my tapping. Felt really good. And after the 4th lesson, I get in the car and my mom goes, I don't like this place. I go, what do you mean you don't like this place? She goes, I don't like it. She goes, I think you're better than this, which was my mom's, like, anything happened, it'd be like, you're better than that. Like, it wasn't, probably not the way to raise someone because I was not. She's like, I just don't like this place. She's like, and you know what? I don't think you're getting a good teacher. You know what? I just don't think we should come back. I'm like, but Mom, I really like tapping. And she's like, no. I've talked to some other moms. I don't think this is the place for you. And I'm like, but I really like tapping and we just got my tap shoes. And she said, we're going to find another place for you to tap. And I gave up tapping. I took like a private lesson from someone. And then, I just go, maybe my mom's right. Maybe I'm not a tapper. Not that she ever said I wasn't a tapper. She said that I was too good for the studio teaching tap. Okay? This was my mom's angle. Years later, I was a mom, and my mom finally confessed to me that I got bounced from the tap class. I was so bad, I was so uncoordinated that the studio called my mom and said, I don't think this is the right place for Sherry. She really shouldn't be in this tap class. Bounced from the tap class. My mom didn't want to tell me. It came too close on the heels of getting bounced from choir. So basically, the biggest hot mess out there. And when she told me, I'm like, oh my God. She goes, you were never suspicious? I go, no, you hit it very well. You sold it. You sold it like, really tap, Like my mom was like, who taps? Who's tapping? Why do you need to know how to tap? Why'd you want to tap? Yeah, totally sold it to me. I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. And then tells me I got bounced. I laughed, but I was like a little upset. Because I was just like, I go, God, Mom. I go, thanks. And I thanked her for not telling me. I go, I don't think my self-esteem could have taken that. She goes, oh, you would have been fine. You would have been fine. Trust me, you would have been fine. I don't know if I would have. Okay, first you get bounced from choir because you can't sing. Then basically the owner of the studio calls your mother and says, get your daughter out of here. She's got no talent and she's slowing down the class. And I will admit, because I do suffer from dyslexia. I transpose numbers, not words. And I have always like a right and left thing. Like I have to really think about it. Once, I got married, I'm like, I know where my left is. I got a wedding ring on, but not great. Okay. So yeah, there was that. And I still think about this, when she told me I'm a grown woman with children, a mother, which means I was well into my 30s. My poor mom disguising that I got bounced. And I was so naive, I believed it. If I told my daughter at that age that she got oh, do you really want to do this? She would be on to me immediately. What's going on? What are you doing? And she doesn't sound like that, but dramatic interpretation. My mom. Excellent. Never guessed it. Never assumed that anybody would want to bounce me, even though I did just get recently bounced from choir when she told me. No, just thought, maybe I am too good for tap. Who does tap? Yeah. And now I worry what other things my mom took to the grave to spare my feelings. Oh my God. What other teachers or, did Baylor University call my mom and go, I don't know if she should be here. No, I'm sure they didn't. But did they? I had okay grades. Notice I said okay. Yeah. What other secrets she kept from me to keep my self-esteem intact? But yeah, that's me. Bounced from tap class, a disaster. So in review, part one, told I'm tone deaf, can't sing, cannot take choir at the high school, which by the way is an elective, okay? Anybody should be able to take it. It wasn't some show choir or stuff like that. It's an elective. Bounced. Take a tap class because I think, oh, tap looks fun. I love the tap shoes. Cute Mary Janes with, making sounds. After 4 classes, 1 month of classes, bounced from that. Which is why my extracurriculars were debate and extemporaneous speaking. None of them were anything that required physical coordination. It was all yakking. And I am like a grade A yacker. Like next level yacker. So, that's what I had to do. I wanted a career in the arts. I wanted to dance. I wanted to sing. I wanted to be on Broadway. No. The worst. The absolute worst. So there's my confession, is that I have absolutely no skill or talent except for yakking. So, that sounds like I'm saying throwing up. I mean, yak, 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 yak. No, yak. Okay, except for talking. So there you go. And actually, that may be a gift because my husband, he is good at everything. He's good at sports, like really good at sports. He's smart. He's good at math. I mean, he's good at everything. It's like a really good personality, like one of those personalities, everyone likes him. His personality is so likable that people have said many times, I never would have put you two together, which means I wouldn't think Cliff would marry a big bitch. That's what they're saying. But, he needs me. The man, everyone benefits from a bitch in their life. I'm just going to throw that out there. He needs me. And so there you are. But yeah, polar opposites. So he is getting back, I was just thinking about how great he was and I got a little flustered. Okay, so getting back to like why it's a gift to not be good at much, like one certain thing, because he is so good at everything, he had trouble deciding what he wanted to do because he could do anything. He had the academic talent, sports talent, he could do anything. Parents wanted to become a doctor. He's not a doctor. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that. So he had trouble narrowing it down. I went to school. I went to college. I'm like, well, what am I good at? Let me see. One thing, talking. I'm going to major in communications because I do that fairly well. So it was easy. Didn't ever change a major. Didn't wonder if I was doing the right thing. There was one choice and I had to take it. But anyways, that's my confession. And do you feel sorry for me? Are you embarrassed for me? Well, you know what? All of the above. It just highlights what a great mom I had. And my dad, he played into it. I'm sure my mom goes, I'm picking up Sherry from Tab. I'm going to make up a story. But she was bounced. They don't want her there. And my dad just like covered it. Like he was like a tag team of like, Tap, Sherry, I don't see you as a tapper. That doesn't seem like something you'd like. Tapping, whatever. So I fell for it. But it makes me love my parents very, very much that they did that. But it also highlights how naive I am because my kids wouldn't have fallen for that for a minute. They would be like, sure, Mom, what's going on? Anyways, there's that story. Okay, let's wrap it up with a book Q&A. I'm going to answer a question about my books. Somebody asked me about back to school. Why did I write this as my first book? And I'm going to tell you this started my whole writing career. And it is because let's just think about tapping and choir, which I got kicked out of because of lack of talent. I have never been popular. I'm not saying I felt like a misfit, but maybe I did. And I was okay with that. So when I would go take my kids to school and you got all these moms and I'm just I just felt like it was middle school all over again. All those insecurities were coming back. I'm like, oh no. It was like my sorority sisters that I enjoyed hating were back. And they had kids. And it scared me. So I wrote it from someone from the outside looking in. Someone said I endured this in high school, these girls in middle school, high school, and college. I'm over it now. I'm a parent now. I'm not giving these women power. And so I thought of Snarky in the Suburbs, back to school. These are fiction, allegedly. And that's why I wanted to write it. I wanted to write about a group of women that were is this really happening? Are we letting these women that we couldn't stand, like in middle school and high school that terrorized us, now take over the elementary school? Oh, I think not. I think not. Oh, they got their comeuppance in a delightful way. So anyways, if you want to read my books, this is the first one, but you don't have to read them in order. I talked about Empty last week. Love this. Just go to the show description. Go down. There's a link. It takes you to Amazon. Paperback, ebook, audiobook. Someone said in the comments of some other post I did, they go, you should be a writer. I'm like, oh, funny you asked that. I've written 5 books. And she's like, wow, I listened to your podcast. I didn't know. I'm like, well, she's probably one of the people that listened to the Dear Snarky letter and then see you later, bye. But anyways, for those of you that listen all the way through, and for those of you that had bought a book, and for those of you amazing people that tell me that you really enjoyed my books, it makes me so happy. It makes my day. Thank you very, very much. So if you want to check out a book, you can listen to it, read, whatever. Just click on the link. Go to Amazon. You will see everything there. You might want to start with Back to School. You might just, any book you can pick up. You don't need to have to read the first one to follow the rest of them. Because I hate that. I hate like having to read stuff in order. I'm just like, oh, this one's available. I want to do that one. So do that. Please, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. And if you are not watching on YouTube, just go to YouTube and like and subscribe. Just Snarky in the Suburbs. And there I am. Do that for me. And thank you. Oh, and if you are somewhere where you can leave like a review of the podcast, like an Apple, I'm at a 4.9. I'm sitting at a 4.9, people. We need to raise that to a 5. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask for a girl that was bounced from choir and tap dancing? No! She needs a self-esteem boost. Now, do what you got time for. But thank you everybody for listening. Go have a fabulous day because once again, what do I always tell you? You deserve it. You deserve it.